Well, today we've got a really good friend of mine. He's an entrepreneur, county commissioner, Bradley County commissioner, and a local resident. And how can it get any better than that? September of what year did you become
2014.
2014. What'd you do before that?
Well, I mean, I've always worked for myself. I wasn't in politics, but I've always worked for myself. I've been self-employed for 23 years.
That's the way I am. I've been self-employed since I was about 25.
Yeah, I think I was 35.
21. Boy, being self-employed is not what it's cracked up
It's
to
a
be.
lot of work.
Do you have much help with you, or are you just kind of a one-man show?
Well, I mean, it just depends. Depends on if I need the money. If I got help, it's just hard to find.
Do you think it's better to work without help if you can?
For the past year and a half, I've worked without help. For the past year.
I guess you just pick which one you want, help or no help. Both of them's a problem, right?
Yeah, like on the window tinting, I can do pretty much some of that, a lot of that myself.
You learned to, you ever heard the old saying, busy as a one-arm paper hanger?
One arm. Well, I'm sure they roll it. I don't know if they can roll it, but in the window tinting, you can do a technique called the reverse roll. You can take a big roll of film, and put it on the back side, and then just roll it off like a scroll.
What about bubbles? You ever worry about bubbles?
Well, I mean, they do pop up, but you just work with it as you, you just keep it rubbed. The tint likes to be rubbed on, especially on the edges and the corners.
And there's different levels of the tint too, right?
You mean different
darknesses,
shades?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's probably 12 different shades.
If you go to a different brand, is it slightly different shades, or is it or not really distinguishable?
There's a distinguish because there's the way they make them. It might be just a smidget darker or smidget lighter. Mm-hmm. It's just might be just a little bit.
You don't do cars, do you?
I don't, but I think I want to maybe learn how to do my truck or something.
Yeah.
It's I just like to know how to do it. It would be neat.
Wonder how much different it would be. I guess it would be a different curves. And
it's like a asphalt shingle and tar roof difference. It's completely different.
Wonder which is harder, the one you hadn't done.
I hear the cars are because you've got to take like the door panel loose and especially like the back window is harder to do when you're getting into the back windows. The side windows is probably not that bad. It's just the back windows.
Yeah, because you had to get in the back seat.
Yep.
That would be hard.
It'd be something good to learn though, and I might do that down the road.
Do you think that they used to say you can't go with car windows that were so dark that the police couldn't see you? Is that a rule or
yeah, it's a state law. I believe 35% in Tennessee. And I used to work with Ronnie's Window Tint in April, and I think that's how we really met there.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And because I did the Chattanooga Allergy Clinic down there in Chattanooga for you.
That's right.
Because
they had the sun really beating down on that front of that building.
Yeah, it was where the HIPAA, the charts. They kept it in the chart room.
Yeah.
That's a big old room too.
It's a big room.
And so so we was talking about the.
Well, April, did she move off?
Oh yeah, she moved to Nashville. Her husband got a promotion. In the Cherokee National Forest. It's not the Cherokee National Forest, it's wildlife.
Oh.
He got promoted and they moved up there, I think in Wilson County. And she's she's a good friend. She helped. I mean, she didn't get me started, but it would have been tough in window tinting competing against her. But she gave me a lot of work.
Yeah, she recommended you, and you'd recommend her for the car.
Absolutely, yes. And I still do it because Ronnie
Yeah.
owns the running it now.
Yeah.
And I like Ronnie. He's
I
a
like
great guy.
Ronnie.
He's a great guy.
I really do.
I like Mike Nunley though too. He's
I don't know him.
yeah, he owns Glass Act.
Oh,
Yeah.
I always use Ronnie. If he does it, I'll use him. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Ronnie's good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like them both. They both give me all their black glass work.
But what if policemen come up 35%? What does that mean? Like that pretty dark?
35%'s not really that dark. You could see inside the car, but I think it's the back window that the police is the one that they don't.
Not necessarily the sides.
Yeah, not necessarily the sides. I'm not positive on that, but I believe it's 35% that has to be on the back.
It sure does cool down a room, doesn't it?
It does make a difference. I've got a lot of people I've made a lot of people happy. I mean, I've had people call me and say, "Man, that really made a big difference."
Yeah, and seeing the computer screens too.
Yeah, because I did the Bank of Cleveland for that reason. Downtown, their home loan center
Yeah.
there
Because of the computer screens.
because of the privacy. And I've done several places for the computer screens.
It's funny how you can get involved in some kind of little niche and make a living out of it.
I know it is. I like doing it. I like it.
How many will you do this week?
Well, I probably got about 3 lined up, 3 window tint.
Will that be 3 days?
I can try to. No, it'll be more than 3 days. I can try to do it. This week, plus the other stuff that I cram in, and I just do an overflow. And I used to work till 6 or 7 o'clock, but I just don't do that anymore. 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm done.
Are you tired by then?
I'm ready to go home. I guess that's normal though, right?
I guess. I don't know if it comes with age or boredom or other activities. What else will you cram in this week?
See, I got some stuff to do over in Ray County. Not Ray County, but over toward Meigs County. And I got some stuff to do around here, Cleveland.
But will you be involved in, now, other than window tinting, you're county commissioner, right?
I'm county commissioner, and I do some window cleaning. I've been doing window cleaning for 20 years, and I've been self-employed for 23. I used to have a dollar store up by Hobby Lobby, and I did that for 3 years. It was
Let's see.
only $1 was the name of it.
Well, did you have to buy the stuff?
We did. We bought it from a wholesaler in California, like in Los Angeles.
Who's
I think.
we?
But me and my ex-wife.
So
We was there.
You would buy from the wholesaler, and where did he get the stuff?
They just got it from China off the container loads, and we would buy, everything we had was $1. And, we might pay, they had a closeout one time on some in-sync gummy worm cups, about like this right here.
Yeah.
We paid a nickel for those.
You had to buy a bunch of them?
Yeah, I mean, not a bunch, but, probably, 3,000-4,000 order. And so what those was, though, that was a school. You know how school sells you things, like fundraisers?
Yeah.
We bought a lot of fundraising stuff, nice stuff, like picture frames and stuff like that we was able to get through the closeout place and sell them in our store for $1.
I guess that's how a Dollar General or a Family Dollar started.
Probably.
Or something similar to that.
And we never made it to that level, though.
And big lots. Big
Lots. Yeah, Big Lots does a lot of closeouts.
What possessed you to start that business?
I don't know. That was back in, gosh, I pondered that for like 3 years before I did it. Probably in 97, 98, and I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina one time. They just family-owned dollar store, and I said, I like this. But I wish I had just passed that dollar store.
Did it not go over well?
Yeah, it did. And we closed in 2003. We was there for little over 3 years.
What was the hardest part? Just getting stuff to sell?
Well, that and like, it gets back to help. It even help back in the day. We was just working 80 hours a week. It was a lot of work.
Help's always been a problem.
Always. And that's one reason I quit the pressure washing is because I don't even do pressure washing anymore because of that reason. It's just, I was just doing it myself, and it's tough.
Yeah.
And thank goodness for the window tint. That's one thing I'm glad I got into is that.
Because you can do that yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I can do, big, 60-inch window by
Most
myself.
people would rather work another hour a day as to have help. And that's about all it would save them.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are going to be some people watch this, so I got to. It's tough.
If you're in a business that's 1 to 3 people, one can work another hour and do it. Whereas if you need 10, you obviously couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's tough. Getting help is really, really tough. And I don't know if you have a problem like that or not. But
Help's always been a problem. And then when you get good help, you can't pay them enough. You want to pay them more, but you can't.
And then they think they're worth more.
Yeah, and then I sub a lot out, but then with subbing it out, you got to hit their schedule just right.
You're right.
It's not whether they're the right price, but it may be the right time or the skills for that particular job.
Yeah, it's like when I do window tinting, all I'm looking for is somebody just to help me when I'm trimming the tent, just to, pick up and keep me moving along.
Save you that hour.
Save me that hour, and it's worth it. But my grandson has helped me before. He's 15, and he's helped me before. So that really works out good for him.
You got a grandson 15 years old?
Fixing to be 16.
Golly.
Yeah. And actually, we raised him up till 2017 when we got divorced. We had him for custody of him for 9 years. And then when we got divorced, he went with my ex. Because I don't have any kids of my own. So it wasn't no blood there or nothing.
Yeah.
But he's really like a son to me, honestly.
But it's always good for him to go with the mother.
Yeah. If they're fit.
Yeah.
and there's probably a lot of unfit. I know a lot of dads that have their custody of their kids,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I think, it's a good thing. I guess they're unfit on both sides.
Probably so. I think women are probably better at raising kids.
Probably, yeah. I think so.
If you had to choose.
But I really enjoyed raising him, though. That was really...
15 years old. You're not that old, are you?
Yeah, I'm 45. They don't believe it, though.
We're about the same age, aren't we?
I think so. You're how old?
I'm in my 50s.
Yeah, me too. I'm in my 50s.
Are you sure now?
Yeah, mid-50s.
Yeah, that's me. We started out at 45, now we're up there mid-50s.
I know, another 5 years, we won't be able to lie about it, will we?
No, I can sort of make them, I can see when I say I'm 45, I can see them trying to think, and then I have to tell them usually. Or now, your family, did they grow up on West Side Drive?
They did.
At the end, on the corner?
Almost on the corner. C.L. Hall has the corner.
C.L. Hall. Did he buy that from your family?
No, we sold that. We listed it and sold it through a realtor.
To C.L.?
No, C.L. didn't buy it. Do you know C.L. Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Actually, I do a firecracker stand down there.
Yeah, I can't place where the firecracker stand is.
Okay, you got the convenience store.
Say from CL's.
Right across the street, right there by, you got the convenience store. It's right beside it. He owns that half-acre lot beside the convenience store.
Behind it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's right beside it. It's right across the street from that metal carport he has there.
Yeah. So you're down the hill from Snyder. Remember Snyder?
Snyder.
Used to live at the end of that little road there.
Yes,
I
think so. Yep, I think so. That like a log cabin.
He built a log cabin.
Yep, I remember.
He worked on it forever.
Yep, it's just right there between the driveway there and the Circle K.
So is it too early for firecrackers?
June the 20th,
Okay.
I can start selling. I'll have my tent set up probably the 1st of June.
Will that take
Just for exposure.
So, but you won't start selling it till the 20th.
The 20th.
There won't be any point, right?
Well, you can't.
Oh.
The state fire marshal will come in and take your license away, and from what I hear, you might not be able to sell firecrackers again.
So you can't start. June the 20th is first day you could sell fireworks
Yes.
in Bradley County,
Yeah, in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, state law.
Remember when that firecracker stand blew up in Polk County?
I do remember at the Worm Farm. Me and Howard Thompson was just talking about that. I was out there at their house, and they heard it. I think I heard it. I was out on Bancroft Road.
I was working on a house for my uncle was building, and it cracked the basement. It was.
Really?
I bet it was half a mile from there.
Wow.
But I wasn't there that day.
Did it crater the ground?
I've heard that. You know, you don't hear much. Weren't there bodies in the trees or
I
something?
know. I heard that, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. But I heard that. But you know how.
If it's in Polk County, we don't talk about it anyway, do we? It may not even happen.
I tell you what, that was a crazy situation, though. That was crazy.
They ought to do a documentary on that.
You know that I wonder if they have.
Seems like maybe they had, but I don't know.
Because that was a crazy thing, man.
Yeah.
When you hear
Weren't they under the
explosion
ground or
25
something
miles away.
something like that? They run. Anyway, it was done illegal, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't make fireworks in the United States. All fireworks are made in China.
Well, how do they know? It looks like if it were made here, that they'd have some regulations.
Yeah, it's illegal. You cannot make fireworks.
It's like carrying a small firearm, isn't it? I mean, they're dangerous.
They can be, but then you got Howard's
Yeah.
flea market that burnt, and I was there when the fireworks was going off, and it, when that thing first burned, Debbie said she was stopping the cars on 64 Highway because they didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, they didn't know how far.
I mean, they didn't know if it's going to go, but it was just shooting off in the box. I mean, because they had this big, probably a, 48-foot trailer there, tractor trailer, and they was just shooting off in the box.
Boy, people would go down to his flea market like a religion, wouldn't they?
They would. Oh yeah, absolutely. And when it burned, they still met down there.
Yeah. Just because that was where they met.
Just because that's where the gathering place. And
Wonder how long when that started, when he did, because all I remember has always been there.
43 years, however long that's been.
He'd just rent out spots,
84.
wouldn't he? That's a good idea, wasn't it? Just
Really
rent out
good idea.
spots. Wonder what a spot was.
100, 150 a month range. It depends on how big, it just depends on how big the size.
You could take a field and make a living off that. If
You could.
keep it clean and maybe put
Absolutely.
a few directional signs out and rent.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I've got a building. I'm going to be doing an Airbnb out of my. I've got a garage, and that I'm going to turn it over to Airbnb after I get my bathroom remodeled.
They've got Airbnb for that, and they got Uber for cars. I went to, I was in that building over on Stewart Road last week, and I saw a sign that said trumpets for rent. I believe it was trumpets for rent. Is there rental trumpets for rent? Yeah. So they rent everything anymore.
I tell you what, that is crazy.
I heard a guy on the internet say eventually you won't own anything and you will be happy.
That's true.
It's a lot of
Make it
maintenance
simple.
owning stuff.
It's a lot of maintenance.
I mean, just having stuff, because something's always breaking.
Something's always breaking. I know my firecracker tent, I bought the tent, and I wish I had just rented it, because getting it set up is a lot of aggravation and keeping it.
Yeah, there's a reason those people do that for a living. Let me tell you about Capstar Bank. They're located in Nashville, Hendersonville, Gallatin, Athens, Madisonville, Sweetwater, Etowah, and in Cleveland at 950 25th Street and 3855 North Ocoee Street. I've used them. I like them. Give them a try. They're no problem.
I mean, because it costs about a...
Is this cord making noise?
Oh, is it?
No.
It costs, I mean, it costs about $700-800 to get one of them tents set up.
Golly.
And, you can rent a tent
For $1,500.
$1,500.
And they'll set it up?
And they'll set it up, come take it down. I wish I had done that. I regret buying one if I had known, but it's no big deal. I got it, and I'm saving a little bit.
What do you do at night? What do you keep people from going in there and stealing firecrackers?
You just have to. I got somebody that's going to stay with it.
So somebody has to stay there all night.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So somebody will sit in there.
Somebody's got to be there. Yeah, you have to.
So that's a cost.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
from the 20th to the 4th.
To the 5th, really. I'm going to stay till the 5th of July.
So you'll have somebody in there for 15 days.
Yeah, about 15 days. But
$12 an hour, or 10 or something.
Yeah, about $12.
Of course, you don't leave them there during the day because you're there. Somebody's there. It's just only when you're closed.
I'm going to try to be there more during after the 28th or so.
Yeah.
When it starts getting busy.
Because up the 20th to the 28th, there won't be many people by.
Probably not, but you don't ever know. It's one of those things, but, you just got to be there. It's like when you got a business, got hours on there, you just got to be there.
I don't like firecrackers because they make so much noise.
I know, they are noisy, but I don't like firecrackers either. I just like selling them.
Yeah.
I actually, with the people that's helping me, I said, hey, let's shoot off some fireworks, and they would shoot some fireworks, like some of the Roman candles.
Yeah.
We had one that, it was a Roman candle. You held it. Well, you're supposed to put it in a bottle or something, but
nobody does that.
No, bottle rockets. They should call them hand rockets.
Yeah, hand rockets. Yeah, or throw. We used to throw
They
them.
shoot them at each other.
We used to light them and throw them at each other. That was so stupid.
Oh, they still do that.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, they did that down at the firecracker stand when I was, but yeah, that is stupid. But they had one that was a Roman candle. You shot it, and then it had like a firework.
Because a regular firecracker, what, 2 inches, 1.5 inches long or something?
Yeah.
And you just light it and it goes, psh. I mean, what's the big deal?
They're mess makers, really. Firecrackers can make a mess. Those kinds can, for sure.
I mean, what's the point?
I don't know.
Just light it and might as well just light a $1 bill or
People
something.
like it.
Has firecrackers gone up in price?
They have. I mean, since I've been doing it, 2020, they've probably gone up 10%, 15%.
That's not real bad.
That's not bad, and I'm just guessing on that. Some of them might be a little more, but yeah.
I'd say they cost you quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I've got.
What if you don't sell them?
You just have to pack them up and keep them till next year.
They won't return them?
No.
So
you could have somebody to maybe offer to buy some fireworks from you, like whatever, and you could do that. Somebody wanted to buy mine back in September, October last year, and I said, nah, I just keep them.
So you got some from last year?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had several $1,000 worth of them.
So you got to keep them somewhere away from fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
You have to have a fire extinguisher at the place?
Yeah, you got to have a regular fire extinguisher and a water fire extinguisher. One's got the water where it pumps up.
Yeah.
And that's really a neat fire extinguisher. I'd like to have that for my house. But that's made for like like electrical. I think that's what they said or something.
I wonder if they'll ever start having electric fireworks, like drones or something.
I don't know.
Disposable drones that just fly up.
Hey, you wouldn't surprise. That would be neat. That wouldn't surprise me.
Make a fake noise.
I guess it could happen.
That'll be the next thing.
Hey, that wouldn't surprise me. That's, but I like it. It's just I'm just glad I have somebody that's going to stay there with it because, you know, I stayed with it last 2 times.
Yeah. Now,
And it's rough.
now, being the county commissioner, what's your district?
The 5th district.
That district.
No, that is the 1st district. It's Mike Hughes and God, you just got,
What's his name?
I can't believe I can't. Yeah, Mike Hughes, that's Mike's, and it was Dennis Epperson, but
Yeah. I can't think.
Daniel Beatty.
Daniel Beatty, yeah.
And Daniel Beatty and they are
He really worked hard on that election. Didn't
absolutely. He had a good strategy. He
He got a good last name.
good
Everybody
last
likes
name.
the Beatties.
And Daniel's a great guy.
That Pike guy ran against him. Didn't he, Pike?
No, it was
I think
Daniel
it was
Beatty.
Pike.
Yeah,
I think there was a Pike that ran.
Don Scoggins.
I think there was a Pike, though, in the primary. I think. He runs that.
Because I think it was Don Scoggins, Daniel Beatty, and Dennis Epperson. I think that was the only 3, but they might have been somebody else in there.
What possessed you to run for that?
I just
Was you mad about something at the time, or just
I just got a wild hair and did it. And
how many's in your district? How many voters are there roughly?
about 9 or 10,000.
Is that right?
Yeah.
God, that's a
And that-
lot.
Yeah, well, they try to make the same
Yeah, yeah.
voters in every district.
So they maneuver it a little
Yeah,
sometimes.
and we do redistrict
Yeah,
every so often because of that reason.
So which district did you say that?
I mean, I'm in South Cleveland, but mostly north of the Bradley County line, because most of my district's in the city. 95% of my district's in the city, and it's
95% of your county commission is in the city.
Yes, very few places of my district is in the county.
But you're still county
But
commissioner.
I am still
Yeah.
county commissioner. Yeah.
Is it a harder job than I would think?
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. It's anything's as hard as you make it. As long as you do what you say, and get back with people when they call you or whatever. You don't want to not call people back, for sure.
Not in an elected
Yeah,
position.
not in elected. You want to make sure you call them back because when you knock on their
Yeah.
door, you know you don't want them to say, you didn't ever call me back, because that's a bad place to be when you.
You'd rather not vote the way they want to vote as to not call them back, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not going to, when they call you, usually, like, if they got, like, a drain problem or, it's something you can help them with most of the time. It's some issue, like a pothole or whatever.
That's no big deal. You
No
just call
big
the
deal.
road
Hey, Tom, call us, take care right of it.
Yeah.
Tom's probably Tom
Yeah.
real good, I guess. Tom's a great guy.
Does the now y'all meet once a month?
No, we meet 4 times a month.
Golly,
Plus-
that's a lot.
Plus, I'm on 4 committees.
What do the committees do much, or are they sort of just
Oh no, they're a big part of it. Yeah, they're a big part of the whole thing. Like the law enforcement, you got finance committees, road committee.
what's the
I'm on.
county's budget? How much money is?
I think it's about 150 million.
Is that the school too, or is that
That's
just
a school.
So that's all of it.
And the schools get about 85% of the budget, and then the sheriff's department, and then everything else is.
By the time you get those two, there's not much left. I guess
there's not much.
because those are the 2 big ones.
And not only
That doesn't
that,
leave much for roads, does it?
no. But we get a lot of grants. I think Tom gets grants
Yeah.
and other money from the state and the federal for other stuff on the roads.
150 million. I don't know what that.
And that's not all they get. The schools get a lot from the federal government as well. They don't just get, that's just part of their budget. Because they get a lot from the, federal and the state and all that. And it's
more complicated than I
very
realized.
complex. The school system's a whole different animal than any of the other entities. You know,
Yeah, I'd say that they've got other issues that you wouldn't know about or it could even help with because it's so different.
yeah, they're the only one that don't really have to answer, and we don't. None of them have to answer. I'm just saying they're their own. Like they got their own director, they got their own school board.
All y'all do is appropriate the money and,
All we do is-
and set laws or rules, I guess.
We don't. We just give it to them, and they that's theirs. No Indian giving there.
How many's on the county commission?
14.
Is it, most of them show up?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, at time to time, you know, somebody might be on vacation or.
But as a rule, there's 14.
Pretty much.
Well, after everybody, I've noticed they go through and have everybody say something, give a report or
Right.
something. That'd be like, if everybody talked 5 minutes, that'd be.
I mean, yeah, gosh, that could be, you know, hour.
That's the 60 minutes. That 5 minutes is
Pete,
spill.
But, you know, they usually don't. Somebody just usually reports, you know, I had this problem here, or that problem that I got to take care of, or people thank Tim Mason a lot because he's the, the environmental officer for the county, and he does a lot of stuff for DTEC, and he does a lot of, trash pickup and on the state right-of-ways. And, it's just a lot of that kind of stuff.
Because that's the stuff a lot of the voters would have to deal with. There's a trash over here, and he'd see that it got picked up, and it'd look like.
Oh, yeah. I was going down Dalton Pike at the underpass there at APD 40, and there was a bunch of trash under that underpass, and I called him, and he took care of it. I said, can you can you do something about that brush and stuff? And he said, you'll need to call the city about that. But he's really good. Tim Mason does a really, really good job.
I don't know him that well.
He's a great guy and a good friend.
Now, the county, it's pretty big, Bradley County, isn't it?
I think it's 110,000.
110,000.
I think so.
And how many's in the city?
Not
Maybe
exactly.
40, maybe 40?
More like 50,000 in the. I know there's more in the county, I think, than they are the city. I think there's about 50 in the city, and then like 60,000. But that might not be exact. I think that's about what it is. So I know there's a little more in the
Didn't
county.
it run like a 30 for a long time and 100 in the county or something like that?
Yeah, it did. Or I remember when it was like 70,000 back in the 80s.
Seems like I remember that.
Yeah, and that's.
Are there roads out in the county that you hadn't even been to?
Oh, absolutely.
You ever get out and think, I've never even been on this road?
Subdivisions I've never been on. And, I don't get lost, but I'm thinking, hey,
I didn't realize this was here.
I did not realize this was here. It's amazing. And you built some of that stuff, I guess. Between you and Mike Sharp, you built a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Mike Sharp. Jim Sharp.
Jim Sharp.
Yeah.
I know
Mike,
Mike, though. Mike's a great guy.
Yeah.
You know Mike?
Yeah, I know him well, yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. We got some good judges.
We got really good judges. Really good judges. We even had, the judges that didn't win were good, weren't they? Really?
They did.
We couldn't lose.
That absolutely. Andrew Morgan and
Barrett
Painter. Yeah, I like Barrett.
Mm-hmm. We'd have been just fine with either one.
He was good, but now Andrew's my friend. I like Andrew Morgan. I liked Andrew. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, that's they both fought a good fight right there.
They did.
And
a very civil fight.
Very civil. I think Andrew won the county and he won the city. I think that's what happened.
That's what happened. When you ran the first time, were you really green?
I was green, but I knew a lot of people.
How'd you know so many people?
I just from the dollar store that I had, and then just from window cleaning, I just knew a lot of people.
And being in Cleveland.
And I either went to school with them, cleaned their windows, or knew them from the store. Because that was really back before I started doing a lot of window tinting.
Did you grow up on West Side Drive?
Yeah. Yeah, I've lived there since I was like 10 years old.
You remember when the Fitness Factory was really rolling?
Yeah, and I know a lot of people that still goes there, though.
I think they have their own key to get in, don't they?
Yeah, because, I know a guy that pays like $300 a year, which, you know, that's
He,
only
he
$25
probably
a
came
month.
from the
Olds,
what was that place?
probably grandfathered in on the
Yeah.
price.
What was that? What was that place that went out of business and he got all the customers?
Fitness place?
Yeah, what was it? It was on. It was on Keith Street, and it was the big place where everybody. I got a membership. It was one of the biggest.
What was it next? What was it next to?
It was where. I think what's there now is a auto parts place, close to wholesale.
Wholesale supply?
Yeah, what was the name of that place? Fitness something. But it was a big deal.
Over by AutoZone, I guess.
Yeah, and they went bankrupt. And then the fitness factory got all of his clients because he sold lifetime memberships, and somehow or another in the settlement or bankruptcy, he had to give everybody somewhere else to go, I think. But the fitness factory,
It's been there. I wouldn't be scared to say 50 years, 45. I know it's been there for a long time. I mean, it was there. It was there when I was a little kid.
Do you work out now?
I do at my house.
Well, you got a bench press or something?
Yeah, I mean, I want to get me a weight rack, but I don't have a place to put it, or I'd already had one. But I just do, you know, barbells and lift weights and pull-ups.
Do anything with your legs? Do leg
Yeah,
stuff?
oh yeah. Yeah, I still go to the gym too, a little bit, but I just like the leg presses there. You know, I do like 10 pull-ups. You know, I do a lot of barbells and push-ups, sit-ups, 100
How long
sit-ups.
does it take you?
I work out about an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
What kind of music you listen to?
Just, hey, anything upbeat.
For instance?
You know, it's dance music, or I like, you know, Prince or the 80s rock, 80s rock.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Kiss? AC/DC?
Yeah, I listen a little bit of that. That's good.
REO Speedwagon?
REO Speedwagon. Can't Fight This Feeling.
No.
There's a lot of feelings I couldn't fight when I was younger.
I was listening to 38 Special yesterday. I remember how good they were.
Who's that?
38 Special.
Oh yeah. Shoot, yeah, that's some
Loverboy.
Loverboy,
Yeah.
and all them. Yeah.
Flock of Seagulls.
Oh yeah, that's some good bands.
Those Flock of Seagulls. That was a good song.
Really good song.
I
Yes,
didn't
it
realize
was.
it was that good.
And the Rains of Africa. Who sung that?
Toto.
Man, that's a really, really good orchestra music.
Flock of Seagulls was way ahead of its time.
Yes, it was.
Man.
Absolutely.
It was a good, and I didn't realize it was that good then. It's like it got better.
It got better, yeah, absolutely. Like the Rains of Africa. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a really, really good song. You
I don't even know what it meant.
I don't know what it means either. I mean, I guess it had a meaning. The Rains.
Oh, I
of-
remember. Yeah, I went to.
I was in junior
I
high
went
school.
to a camp in Nashville while that song came out, and then I came back, and me and Joe Watson went up to Chilhowie, up to the the lake, and we were coming back, and I was listening to that song, and I was driving a '72 Nova hatchback or something, 4 doors, whatever the one nobody wanted. And me and him I think we were going 80 or 90 miles an hour, and that thing just quit running. I never, Joe Watson, remember him?
Any kid of
his-
Eric or?
Well, his daddy was Johnny Watson, that had the Watson's Food
Oh,
Markets.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, I didn't know them Watsons. I don't know if that's any kid.
And then when we got back to town, after it quit running, we got back to town in front of Tip Tops was there. So I went across the medium and bottomed out on that curb.
Yeah.
That medium, but now it's flat.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess it's so many years of paving the road.
Yeah, I think they built it up. You
Yeah.
used to do a U-turn right there and turn right in the parking lot, but they.
Or if you were stupid, you could go across and bottom out. That's what
I never done that. I don't think.
Well, I did it I did it that time. But yeah, that was good music. 80s music didn't
really good stuff.
It really didn't make a lot of sense. It was more about the rhythm and the
Oh yeah, the beat.
beat.
Yeah, I know like when Michael Jackson died, whatever year that was, that album became #1 worldwide when he died.
He was
for
good.
for like a month.
He was good.
He was good.
Some of those bands, they just don't stay good for a long time. But
They're a lot better than nowadays.
yeah, or maybe they're ahead of their time too. I mean,
Maybe they are. I don't know,
but the 80s music, they say the 80s music had no real meaning, was what they said. But I don't know about that, because you had, Jackson Browne. And
I know David Carroll has a radio show where he does, he searches behind what the songs mean. I don't know if you've ever listened to his show or not.
Yeah, but I don't know if I agree with that, because a lot of people you never know what the artist is thinking when they write it.
I think he might have researched it, but you're right. They could have just been, hey, this has got a good tune and good rhymes.
Well, sometimes they'll throw words in there that don't mean anything, but it resonates with the listener, and they think, oh, well, that's,
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure they do that.
But boy, there were a lot of bands out during then.
Like Cyndi Lauper. I mean, that's some good, that's some good music.
She's still touring, I think.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, AC/DC and Kiss. And I'm trying to think of some more, but.
Well, I can get lost in that stuff, can't you?
But, I like George Jones and Johnny Cash, too.
I love them, too,
yeah, some good stuff right
George
there.
Jones was
really good.
I think he was better than Johnny Cash, in my opinion. I liked his better.
I liked them both.
I liked Waylon. Waylon, to me, was better than either one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Waylon was really, really good.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's some good stuff.
Well, wouldn't you like to meet some of those people?
Yeah, go to an Elvis Presley concert. I mean, that would be like a big deal there.
Yeah. But Waylon, it'd be pretty good, too.
Be a good one. Hank Williams Jr., he's
still kicking, isn't he? Doesn't he live in Tennessee, Paris, Tennessee, I think?
I think so.
Wouldn't you like to just drive up there and see if you could see where he lives? Because, when I was building T.L. Lowry's building, he was a star. He was well known here. But you get out of here, he was a star.
Oh, yeah, like a deity.
Yeah, and I remember I was in Georgia, and this lady was giving me a real hard time about something. I forget, one of the government offices or something. And I said, and I was building T.L. Lowry's building in Cleveland. And somehow or another we got in. She said, oh, you're from Cleveland. I said, yeah. She said, have you ever heard of T.L. Lowry? And I said, oh, yeah, I know him well. She said, you don't know him. I said, yeah, I do. And she said, I don't believe it. And I happened to have his phone number, and I dialed hil number. I said, T.O., will you talk to this lady and tell her I'm okay? And he says, hello, that voice is this. And she talked to him, and by the time he got off the phone with her, I had what I wanted, and I was out the door. She thought I was something because I knew T.L. But if you go up somewhere like Paris, Tennessee, do they just see somebody like Hank Williams Jr. is just walking around?
I mean, probably. He's got to go.
He can't just stay. I mean, he's not a Michael Jackson
or
an Elvis Presley.
No, but he's pretty. I mean, he could draw a crowd.
He can draw a crowd.
He could probably do a good fundraising gig, I'm sure.
You probably couldn't even get him.
Probably couldn't even get him.
But to your point, he was no Elvis Presley that you couldn't he couldn't walk to the end of his gate.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, that's
or Kid Rock.
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock would be a. I don't know if Kid Rock. I know he's more famous now, but I don't know if he was as famous as Hank Williams was in his prime.
Oh no, I don't think so. I can't even name a Kid Rock song.
Oh, he's got some good songs.
Really?
Oh yeah.
People just don't know the name.
Well, people know. People know him.
The songs are more the songs are more popular than him.
If you listen to his music, you say, Now that's why he's a star.
Okay.
He's good.
Yeah. I'll have to listen to
I
some
think
of
he
that.
lives in Tennessee too.
Yeah.
I think Miley Cyrus lives in Tennessee.
Really? Okay.
I believe she does.
Yeah, that was a crazy show. I remember that show. My grandson used to watch that a lot.
Oh,
Miley
yeah.
Cyrus
Yeah.
show. And that was.
But wonder what it would be like to be a star like that. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah,
I mean, you'd just have a whole nother universe you were living in.
Oh yeah. I mean, like Elvis, he had to rent the whole theater when he wanted to go
And
to
the whole
theater.
bowling alley and
The whole bowling alley or the
the whole
rest-
mall. I
the
think
whole-
we went to a mall one time.
Yeah, with security.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would. I mean, I don't think that would be fun. That would probably get old. I guess that's the reason some of these celebrities do crazy stuff when you got money to burn.
I guess.
You know that you know you don't have to want for anything.
I'd like to try it.
I like to try it. I like just one day try that.
But you know, I don't know if there's stars like there used to be. You know, people on TV. You know, we're on YouTube right now, so it's not a big deal as it was back then. Seeing somebody on TV, like when I had Jerry Mathers Leave It to Beaver here. Now that I was starstruck. I was really struggling to talk because I just couldn't believe I was sitting here talking to the Beaver.
That's pretty cool. Now, where's he from? I mean,
he's from California. You know, Leave It to Beaver.
Right. Oh yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really something talking to him. And you know, when after it was over, he walked around. And I showed him around. He was even more normal. We went to the old Fort and ate. We didn't tell anybody who he was. They didn't recognize him because he'd gotten
Oh
older.
yeah. It's
But
older.
towards the end, we told him. But he was just 10 when he did that.
Yeah.
So can you imagine somebody that's a real star?
Oh yeah. Somebody like I'm trying to think, but it's.
You remember when Cisco Kid came to Cleveland? You're not old
think so.
enough, are you?
I remember Little Richard came to Cleveland at the
Yep.
hard.
I think he was here at the same time that
Really?
all three of the Beavers were here
Okay.
at one time.
Yeah, that's been what about 20 years? About 20 years ago.
If we had a big place in Cleveland for stars to come and sing, I guess you couldn't overcome the cost. You'd have to build some kind of a huge building, and if you did, I don't know how that would work. But
Yeah, Cleveland needs a what do you call it? Not a
amphitheater.
not an
or
amphitheater, but
convention
like a convention center.
Okay.
If somebody had the money to put in a nice sized convention center,
You'd have to have parking and.
I mean, you'd have to have 50 acres, probably.
Some people, the rumors that in the old Whirlpool that they're thinking about putting, I've heard the rumors that they're going to put a big amphitheater there where Whirlpool was, but I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but an amphitheater right there would be nice.
And get some real stars.
Get some
You'd
real.
have to
That's
pay
got a
'em.
lot of potential. I know we got the one over at the village at the Greenway,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
that thing's like half the size of this room. It's really small.
Nice, but small.
It's nice but small, and I think it was donated or something.
Yeah.
But it's but it needs. But Cleveland has a lot of. They need another amphitheater.
Maybe it's like if you build it, they'll come.
On the Courthouse Square at 30 2nd Street is the law firm of Logan Thompson Law. Since 1965, they have served the legal needs for the good citizens of Cleveland Bradley County. If you've got a problem, they're no problem. Give them a call.
I wonder what it would cost to get Miley Cyrus to
Probably
play a
50
concert
grand.
here.
Minimum, probably.
I'd say
say.
somebody like Lady Gaga would be $500,000.
Yeah, and you'd have to pay me $500,000 to go.
I'd go.
But I might go for
I'd pay.
for 5,000. You know what?
I'd pay to see. She's really good.
Yeah. She's. I'm not a big Lady Gaga. I don't know what song she sings other than.
Oh, Poker Face.
Oh, okay.
She-
Yes.
She's got a bunch.
She's
of
a big name, for sure.
Big name.
Big
She's as
name.
big as Miley Cyrus, just not as many songs out now. I'm a big song person.
Oh yeah, I am too.
Why? They say that the poorer you grow up, the more you like music.
Is that right?
That's what they claim.
Guess that's why I like the music so much. But I like the 80s. I listen to a lot of the 80s.
What about the 70s?
I like the 70s, yeah.
That'd be Jackson
Lionel
Brown.
Richie.
I never liked him.
You didn't like Lionel
I
Richie?
never liked their music. Just
The
too sad or something.
Yeah. Relaxing, though. It's like, it's like just relaxing.
Maybe it was a bad time in my life when he came out and I heard it. A lot of times the songs, you don't like a song because
He's a
what
big
you were
name.
going through in your life at the time.
Yeah. Lionel Richie's a big name.
You remember the song you heard when you met your wife?
No, I don't think I do. Other than
They say if you can control the nation's music, you can control the nation.
yeah, that's true. I guess.
Because it'll change your mood, won't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a mood changer for sure.
I was driving out to the Hiwassee River Thursday, and I was listening to that 95.7, that country, classic
Right?
country.
Oh yeah.
And man, they were playing the My Bucket's Got a Hole in It stuff, and everything was so sad. And I thought, man, this is not feeling too good. And I thought, maybe it's this radio station. So I turned on YouTube. That's when I turned on, I thought, well, let's listen to something happy. And it was 38 Special. And man, it just changed my whole thinking.
It makes you dance.
Yeah, I was ready to roll then.
I like Pandora. I listen to a lot of Pandora.
I hadn't heard that in a long time, but now it's Spotify, isn't it?
Yeah, Spotify.
Spotify.
Spotify's better than Pandora.
Is
Yeah.
Pandora still around?
I think so.
You got a Spotify account?
Yeah.
What is that, $8 a month?
I got the free one. You have to listen to ads every now and then, but it's not bad. It's not a big no.
I got the $8 a month one, I think.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I don't have to listen to the ads. I can't stand those ads.
Yeah, they can be aggravating. I think they're getting more of them, just like Facebook does a lot of ads.
Are you proud to be a county commissioner?
I am. I like it. I enjoy it.
Do you think you make good decisions?
I think so.
you
I
weigh
voted
the-
against the property tax increase.
How many voted against it?
5.
5?
Yeah. Howard Thompson, Charlie Peake, me, Tim Mason, and Mike Hughes.
I'd hate to run against Howard Thompson on anything.
He'd be a hard one to beat.
He'd be hard to beat.
It'd be hard to
You'd
beat.
just probably lose.
You'd probably lose. I think I hear that.
He's been in here. I like it, or not on this, but he's come here.
Oh yeah, I sit beside Howard.
Yeah.
We've sat beside each other for 9
You know,
years.
you about know how he's going to vote. It's for his people.
Pretty much, he's for the people, for sure, and I am too. I like, but like I said, most of mine's in the city. But I still help them. I work with the city council. Marcia McKenzie is Charlie's.
Yeah.
And I work with her a lot if I have a problem.
She's done good, hasn't she?
She's done good. I think she has. To not know what she's doing, because when she first got on there, when they appointed her, she didn't like me.
Oh, she'd probably.
I didn't even know where the commission room was when I first got elected. I mean, until I won my primary in May, I didn't even know where the commission room was. I had never been to a commission meeting. And then Jeff Yarber told me.
My dad was a county commissioner.
Really?
Yeah, he said he didn't know what to do either. So the first day he got there, he got the phone book and just started going through the phone book so the people would think he was checking on something.
Oh, yeah.
I had never thought of that.
Scribble something down.
Yeah, pretty good idea, wasn't it? Make it look like you was looking something up.
It's
or
a
something.
good idea. Yeah, you stumble through that.
But I don't even know if you can find a phone book anymore. How long has it been since you looked at a phone book?
Probably, I'd say probably at least eight or 9 years, I guess.
I don't even know if if you
Probably
can
10,
find them anymore.
maybe 10. Yeah, I think they still make them.
Do they still make phone books?
But you have to pay
when-
for them.
I hadn't seen one in years.
You know, it would be for somebody like an elderly person that just don't get on
Do you have a phone line at home or just a cell?
just a cell phone.
I've got a phone line, but we never use it. But I think it has to do with the internet modem or some trick like that. Hey, what about the county and this new broadband thing? What's that about?
Well, they're just, inch by inch, putting it in certain areas, like down around, way down by Red Clay, up toward.
Are they putting some up on by Jackie Evans out? I think I've seen them working out through there.
Yeah, I'm
like
not,
on
I'm
Wilkerson,
not sure.
Wilkerson,
I
or
haven't got an update on some of that stuff, but I know down there next to Red Clay, and up toward Charleston in the rural areas, mostly
way out.
way out where there's don't even have.
So they did
phone
not
signal.
have, they did not have really cell service or internet, what I'd call internet or
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they're putting it where you don't even get a phone signal. A lot of times, just because it's so rural. Way out.
So if you're out there, way out there now, you can, because it would be it'd be a problem if you were way out and couldn't get the internet.
But
nowadays.
But it's going to be a slow process getting that done, though. That's going to be. I don't know how the timeline on that, but it's not going to be overnight. It's going to be a few years before they get that implemented. I guess you might say finished.
So some people are way out in these areas. They don't have any internet.
No internet.
You could not operate.
You could not,
today.
and you probably don't even have good phone service, like a good,
Yeah.
got one bar.
All you'd have is regular landline.
It's regular landline, yes. Maybe dial-up or something, but
I don't know if you'd have dial. I don't even know if anybody has, if that's the thing.
I don't think so. Yeah, I was just kidding about that. But yeah, you're right. I don't think dial-up's that's obsolete there.
A lot of these places that you apply for jobs now, you have to apply online. You can't even go in and get an application.
Yeah, unless you really know them. But they'll probably hire you, but you still have to fill out that application online. Even if you.
Even if they did, they'd say, we hired you, but you got to fill out this form.
Yeah, you got to do it online.
Because we got to send it to
they got to send it
Social Security office or something.
But yeah, that's simple.
Are you a big guy are you a big proponent of more rules or less?
I'm for small government for sure. You talking about
just in general, just more regulations or less?
Oh, I'm less. Yeah, I'm against. I'm for small government.
And in order to have small government, you have to have less regulations, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely against. Taxes. I'm against taxes. I know we got to have taxes, and I've heard some talk about people talks about the power bill being too high and all this, and they says, well, so and so county or so and so state pays this, and maybe they're paying too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm glad we live. But I don't get to talk about utilities. I could. I think it don't. I think it needs to stay where it's at. It don't need to go up anymore. But yeah, I'm a big believer in small government.
And maybe the money's there. Maybe it's like maybe, and I guess there's always a thing of get more efficient somewhere. But I guess everybody's always trying to do that. I guess, right?
Yeah, it's. I'll tell you what, we really do have a good county commission, and Gary Davis, in my opinion, does a really, really good job.
I agree.
He does. And the finance director. They do a lot of. It's a lot of work.
I wouldn't want that job.
I would not want that job, and he does a good job. And
Tom's the head of the what now?
He's a chair.
Chair, yeah.
And then you got Bill Winters, vice chairman.
Does that get anything with that being the chair? Is it any advantage or anything, or?
Yeah, he gets paid a little extra on the commission every meeting. I probably, probably might not should, but he does. It's a
Yeah.
little extra.
But I mean,
But he's got a lot more responsibilities on that, a little bit on the commission. But
maybe help to direct some, or
yeah, he points all the committees.
oh, I see. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and we got probably, I'm just guessing 10 or 12 committees.
And so they have.
And the mayor appoints some of those committees and boards. I think I'm on a board or two, plus 4 committees.
I'm on the county's variance board, zoning board.
Okay.
Bradley County Variance Board.
Yeah, I think some of them's on the economic. Let's see, what do you call it?
Economic Development Board or something.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah,
What else do you do besides county commission, fireworks, and
I do
Yeah,
window tinting, and that's it.
nothing else?
Nothing else.
No hobbies?
No hobbies. I like to metal detect.
Huh, where'd you do that at?
I hadn't done it in a while, but I do like it. It's just neat, and I just anywhere I've done it in my yard or whatever. But I got a friend that we go places, but I hadn't been in. Like I said, I hadn't been in a long time there.
Well, I always thought I'd like to do that. Just take a lunch and just go hiking. And
It's neat. You find all kinds of
how far is stuff down? Is it like you need a shovel or just a garden
6-8
shovel?
inches down.
That far?
Yeah, it can be. Most probably
Will
3
it
or 4
detect?
inches.
Are there levels of the detectors that are better? Or
Oh yeah, I mean you could spend $1,000, $1,500,
what would a real good one detect that you could
probably
carry?
$700 probably for a middle grade one.
And that'll go how far? down?
Probably 6-8 inches, I guess. And,
Of course, most of that stuff would have to be in loose ground, or it wouldn't.
well, they make a pointer that you when you're doing this right here, and then you start digging. They make a pointer that when you get into the dirt, it just points it right there into where you're going. There.
What would you find, though?
Oh, you could find. I mean, in my front yard, when I first got my metal detector, I found a dog tag, not a military dog tag, but a dog tag that had his rabies shots in 1962.
How far down was that?
It was probably that far.
Wonder how it got down that far.
Just came out. I guess it just came off the dog's tag. The leash.
And then leaves and erosion and whatever else.
And I found a 1901 dime. And
You got to figure that was dropped in 1910 or something. right?
it makes you wonder if that was there, if it was lost like maybe way back, or if it was, it's one of those.
It could have been, yeah.
It could have been. We'll never know, but it's.
But you got to figure you can go through all the dimes you want, and you won't find anything back past 1960 or something, right?
Oh yeah, not circulating because 64 was silver.
Just that 1 year, or up to then?
Up to 64.
Up to 64. It was, so you found a silver 1901 dime.
Yeah,
I bet you that had to have been lost back then.
probably.
How far down was it?
It was probably that far. Just
So the metal detector can detect that much of a.
Oh yeah, it can pick up a lot of beer can lids and
Stuff
Coke.
is not worth anything.
But you got a distorter on it. You can turn off all the junk and just find the silver and the gold and stuff like that. And
A lot of people do that on the beach
a lot of people do that on the
because
beach.
that's where you drop stuff.
That would be fun to go on the beach and do that.
Like early morning would get what anybody's dropped.
There's people that does that. I've seen things on YouTube, man, where they've had a table like this right here full of stuff they found. And
There's a guy on the internet that does that, and I think he gets cell phones and all kinds of stuff. But metal detecting is I remember when people used to do that a lot.
yeah, it's fun.
Because they'd get Civil War stuff, and then you got those that do the arrowheads, but that's not metal detection. That's
Yeah.
just, and everything looks like a metal arrowhead if you're looking for one. Right?
I think so. I think you can justify something out of that. It's an arrowhead that's been broke.
Yeah. How come you didn't go to college? Did you go to college?
I did, and I went to 86 in Bradley Central High School. I never did do any college. Yep,
Just didn't want it?
yeah, just didn't think I needed it. But you know, I regret it. I guess I wish I had have done that. But I got a lot of street smart.
During those times?
Yeah, I mean now
Did you walk home from Bradley?
You know, I did walk to school a lot because it was just you go down.
What's the name of that road? I never can.
Like you going to Country Club Drive.
Yeah, but even before then, you can get on that other road before you get there and go around.
Yeah, that where Berrywood Farms is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go
What's
down
in
that.
Berrywood Farms?
You know that's Dr. Stanberry's
Just
place
got
over
I've
there.
just seen the sign in a long road.
You know, it's just I don't know what kind of farm it is, but I know they got several. I got quite a bit of acreage over there.
Yeah. They've had that for years in his family.
For years. That's over there next to Jackie, the one that owned the printing company there.
Um,
I think his last name, but
I think his name
you
is.
got
But what's the name of that
Jackie
road?
Carroll.
Jackie Carroll, yeah. What's the name of that road behind? There's a name of that road. It's not Country Club Drive. It's another road.
I know the name of it, but I can't think
Starts
of
with
it.
an O or something.
Yeah, because it goes around like this.
Yeah.
And then it goes like
Now
that.
didn't there used to be a swimming pool over there?
I think so. At the where the school board used to be.
Yeah,
That's a long time ago.
a long
It's been
time
what,
ago.
about 30 years ago.
I bet there's not. I bet you could metal detect over there.
Probably. Yeah, that was. Because that used to be a golf course there
Yeah,
back in the
used
70s.
to be a golf course. Yeah.
73, I
Yeah.
think, is when they built Bradley Central High School.
Yeah.
And that was a smart move there. They buying that much ground
Mm-hmm.
for the school because they got all that. That's like Walker Valley. They got all that property.
Boy, having to think ahead on schools would have to be a horrible thing to try to anticipate how many kids and how much room you're going to need.
Well, when you're building a school, in my opinion, I think you need to buy as much ground as you possibly can because, you know, that way you have a lot of room to expand.
Yeah.
Instead of building a little school here and a little school over there.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, the
Economies of scale or whatever you call them.
yeah, and you know, like Candies Creek Elementary School. You know, that was a good move there.
Yeah, but then you drive down the road and there's another
I
one,
know,
isn't there?
but at least they got enough room there to expand.
I just like it better when there's one county school and one city school.
I know, yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe that's just the way we were raised.
But it's like Mayfield. I mean, when they outgrow that, it's you know
They outgrew that when they
Probably
started,
transferred
when they
them.
put it over there.
yeah.
On
That's
the side of
a
the
whole
hill,
other
too.
subject there.
That's a whole nother subject. On the side of a hill.
Yeah, that was a.
Oh, what
Yeah,
this thing?
I personally think they should have left it where it was, but that's just my opinion. You know, that's.
What's there now
I
where
don't
the
want
old
nobody
Mayfield,
mad.
where the old Mayfield school is? What's there?
That's Lee University.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking
Lee
Michigan Avenue.
University, we
Yeah.
remodeled it.
Yeah. Now they're closing that road. I noticed in front of it now. Did you see that?
Yeah, okay, I didn't know that. The road that runs between 20th Street and back behind North Cleveland.
The one behind Lee College to the old Mayfield
Yeah.
is closed. Is it
Really?
closed? Yeah, I
Okay.
noticed. I tried to get through this week. I couldn't get through.
You know, I was kind of nervous about them closing Parker there when they was a long time ago back. Back when they was putting those speed bumps through there.
Golly. Boy, some people drive through there. You'd think I could push the car faster than they'd drive through it.
Boy, they do. They drive fast. They drive. Some of them drive fast. Some of them drive slow.
Do you see this homeless thing being an issue here in Cleveland?
It is. Cleveland is it's a really bad problem, and a lot of that is in the 5th District. back behind where Charleston Hosier used to be, right there on.
Yeah, they've got.
back behind.
I think they've got lockers for them over there now on the back of the building. Looks like they've got lockers for them. Behind the Salvation Army,
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right.
where the car wash is.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. But yeah, it's a really, really bad problem.
I don't know how to solve it. Do you?
I don't know what the deal is. That's going to take. I think the cities work. I think they're working on some things there, to because there's a lot of bad. I mean, there's a lot of bad apples in those homeless people.
Whatever they're doing is not working.
Yeah, I mean, there's I forget the number of homeless people, but I'm thinking it's up around 1,000 people. Homeless.
Where do they sleep?
They just sleep anywhere. But those homeless has to be registered. They have to have an ID, or they'll get them one. They have to have.
What if they don't? What are they going to do with them?
I mean, they'll get them one. They'll find out who they are, because you have to have an ID. It
Well,
might not be a driver's license.
What are they going to do? Put you in jail?
You know, they'll just get you an ID. Is what they'll do.
I don't know how to solve that.
That's a
And
really.
maybe it was always there and we didn't notice it.
Well, I hear that a lot of people is just coming in from other counties.
That's what I heard, but I don't know.
But you know, I don't know if that's true or not. But you know, it's going to take a really, it's going to take a lot of new laws or something to change that. I don't know.
And is there anything wrong with being homeless? I mean, I guess they got a choice. If they want to be homeless, why is it my business? Maybe.
Well, here's the problem: is you got a lot of people camping out on other people's property. I mean, that's the reason back behind the liquor store down there where Teresa Evans, you probably know Teresa.
Yeah.
You know, that's the reason they cleared all that out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a friend of mine walked back there and they had showers up, or I say showers, they had a...
They're all over in the woods.
I think there's a community behind the Harry's Food Market over here.
Yeah, I heard that.
They said if you had a drone, you could see all the tents and everything.
But the thing is, you know, if you got them back here and the owner of the property don't say nothing, it don't matter what kind of nuisance they're causing. I hate to use that word, but, you know, unless the owner says, hey, I want those people off my property, and there's no trespassing signs up, you know, that's the only way you can get rid of them.
They can go there, I guess.
They can go there unless the owner has to work with the authorities to get them.
Oh.
And I think that's how that works. I'm pretty sure.
And I think that over there behind Harry's is owned by a guy out of town that really doesn't care whether they stay there or not. So maybe I'd worry about liability. Somebody got hurt and then they'd sue me, and I didn't even know they were over there.
And they're back there pretty good because, you know, it's off the road.
Oh, yeah.
Do
you know there's a pond
back there? It's like...
Do you know there's a pond back there?
I did not know that.
There's a real pond.
Behind Harry's, and it's probably back behind the shopping center.
Yep, you get on Google Maps, you can see there's a pond right in the middle of that.
How big of a pond is that?
It's bigger than the...
Half acre?
It's about as big as Staples parking lot.
Really?
It's big.
Yeah, you know, that's a lot of liability.
I don't know if it's deep or what, but you can see it because that's where all that water goes.
Well, you know, they got to be copperheads.
And every now and then, if you're at Panera Bread, you'll see somebody walk in with an old cup getting a refill. And I'm thinking, that doesn't look like a new cup.
You know, that probably found out in the woods, I guess.
Yeah, and then,
you know,
that might
be the bottom.
That may be.
I tell you what, it's bad. You know, that's a solution that's going to have to be addressed.
It's over my head. I don't know how to stop it.
It's going to take new laws to get something in to do that. I don't know. It's going to be.
Well, there's all of this stuff that goes into effect legal-wise is a slow-moving process because somebody has to have an idea, and the approve and so.
And then you got to get, like everybody to agree to it, or at least a majority,
Yeah, and then get the money to fund it.
and then get the money to
Say
fund it.
say you said, okay, we're gonna get this, we're gonna do this about it. Who's gonna pay for it?
And that'd
It's-
probably be state law to do that.
And it's
some of
not
that
in the
stuff.
budget. If it's not in the budget, where's it at? Does the county have a fund that's like overage fund, or what do you call that? What
Rainy
was
day
it?
fund.
Rainy. So that's like if something goes over or something.
Yeah, it's for like emergency type money there,
Yeah,
really.
like a tornado hits or something.
Yeah, or something like that.
What would there be a percentage that's good to have in rainy day fund?
I'm not sure, but I'm probably sure it is a percentage.
It had to be
I don't
some-
know that total.
It'd have to be some kind of a general standard that people like to have or something.
Yeah, I think it's probably 10. I don't know what it's kind of neat.
Gotta
though.
be 10%.
But it's a neat little.
You'd almost have to
You-
have it.
It's good to have that even personal.
Oh, yeah.
A rainy day fund.
Yeah.
I've heard Dave Ramsey talk about rainy day funds a lot.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Dave
Yeah.
Ramsey. He's
Well,
a little
if you-
old school because you can't save up for a car or a house, but
Well, you couldn't live if you did Dave Ramsey's thing.
I know, but I don't agree with him on everything, but just the small stuff, because you couldn't save up for half of a house.
You couldn't save it. You couldn't wait till your kids to wait to go to college till they save the money, or
You'd be working 3 jobs.
it doesn't work. The people, the businesses that have the most money are the ones that borrow the most.
But I
that's where
do-
the banks get it. They borrow it.
Exactly.
The insurance companies they borrow the money.
Exactly, but I do agree with him on investments and moving money over and all this and that.
Yeah,
that
and
kind
I
of
agree
stuff.
with him on IRAs and
IRAs
stuff like that,
and
tax-
saving.
Yeah, and the idea of thinking about. I agree. The most of it is idea of thinking about it.
But
Whether you agree or not, at least you're thinking about.
I like listening to
He
him.
lives in Nashville.
He does. He does.
What
He's
time's
from-
he come on?
I don't know what shows he comes on, but I listen to him on Spotify.
You know his sister goes to my church,
Really? Is that right?
Yeah.
Where's yours?
Central Church of Christ. His sister goes to my church.
Is that right?
I believe that's right. Yeah.
That's interesting. But yeah, I listen to people call in on his show and they say, "Oh, we're in debt. We don't know what we're going to do." And
Yeah.
we don't know if we want to sell the yacht or the
Yeah.
the Corvette.
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, sell
Maybe-
both of them
yeah.
today."
Yeah.
But as soon as
Get
hang
what
up-
you can out of it.
Get what you can. But he's against bankruptcy, though.
Yeah, didn't he go bankrupt? I think he went bankrupt.
Oh
In
yeah, I
real
think
life,
a couple times.
yeah.
Yeah, back when he was younger.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like 23 years old.
But there's such a thing as good debt, I think.
Oh yeah. It's just nowadays houses are high, but like bad debts like boats and
Yeah.
and a $80,000 Corvette,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I guess a Corvette's now 150.
Probably
It's probably not. I think these new trucks now are about 80,000.
they are. Yeah, some of these new Silverados and
Hey, I was up in Charleston week before last, and I went to the Piggly Wiggly. My little dog of an evening, he always sits in front of me wanting to eat, and I
Right.
have to give him part of my, because I've got him stuck on eating, table scraps. So I thought, well, I'm going to get
Daddy's got it
a
spoiled.
can of tuna. I'll get some cans of tuna, and I'll hand him that, and he'll think that he's eating my food. You know what a can of tuna is?
Probably $2.
It's $3.49.
Dang.
And I thought to myself, this is a problem. At the Piggly Wiggly, I wasn't at,
Walmart.
Fresh and Low or
Yeah.
one of these.
Or Dollar General store. Or something.
Yeah, it was,
Probably competitive pricing.
yeah. So
From
I'm just saying, food's expensive.
Food is high. Food prices have probably gone. Some things have doubled in price.
I bet a box of cereals. Wonder what a box of cereal would be now.
Probably
I don't
6
shop.
or 7. I don't buy cereal. I don't
either.
eat cereal. I'm not eating. I'm not eating a bottle of cereal.
Last time I ate a box of cereal, I ate the whole box. It was so little in it.
But I do like the frosted mini wheats.
You know, I hadn't had frosted mini wheats in years. I
Yeah,
may get some.
I used to eat those things like crazy when I was a kid.
What do you see? Are you excited about the summer?
I like summer, yes.
You look like you got some sun.
You know, I've been working outside in the yard.
Did you hurt your pinky?
No. No, I just think I got hand lotion on it.
Oh.
But yeah, I like summer. The winter's what I hate.
I can't stand to be cold.
I cannot stand to be
I'd
cold.
rather sweat as shiver.
And not to mention, you know, my work's better during the summertime. But it's
Do you ever go up to the lake or
oh,
Chilhowie or?
Oh, I love the lake, Parksville. I like how up in Reliance, Tennessee.
Oh yeah, Webb Store.
Webb's.
Boy, I love to go in Webb Store.
Well, no, Webb's is up on Bowater Road, right?
Webb's is at Telco.
Oh, okay, Teleco.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's in Reliance.
Yeah, Reliance. Yeah.
Yeah, Webb's.
Reliance, Tennessee.
Yeah. I think that's still in the family business.
I think so. They had a post office in there till just a few years ago.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I
Because that
love
was
it
the
up
only
there,
place
man.
they could.
Yeah, it's really nice. I went up there during the COVID when all that was going on. Man, there was people camped out, laying on the side of the river.
I went up there this past winter and I stopped and I thought, well, I'm just going to get gas here because I'd never gotten gas there. So I put it in there and pushed the handle, waited, went in, got something to eat, came back out, and the pumps are so slow, it just pumped like $1.50. Because it was just real slow.
1970 pump.
Yeah. It's really nostalgic to go up there.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, especially back there where the water towers are.
Yeah. You ever going across the swinging bridge?
Oh, yeah.
At the end?
Yep. Back there where the train tracks
Yep.
is.
Go
Where those
across the
picnic
swinging
tables.
bridge. Well, people up there having a good time, aren't they?
I love it up there, man. I like to have me some property.
You know, if you go, have you ever been down, you ever gone over like the Greasy Creek and gone Kimsey Highway? That goes all the way to the
Back to 64.
No, it goes, you go up past Webb Store, keep going, you hit Greasy Creek, and you take a road to the left, and that's Kimsey Highway, and it goes all the way to Turtletown, I believe. I've heard about it, but I've never.
I think I did. I was riding around with a friend up there, and we was just riding out there, and I think we did go that way, up through there.
I think when the rock fell and they closed that road, a lot of people used it then. But they say it's kind of dangerous. One, you can't pass a car.
But it's nice enough. It's pretty, really pretty up there.
I'm looking forward to this summer. I even like to go up to the, Whitewater Center if they ever. I don't know if they fixed that up yet or not. Have they?
I don't know.
After the burn.
Where's that at?
At the Whitewater Center. It burned here a while back.
Where's that at?
Up the Ocoee.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if that's been fixed or not. But yeah, that's a pretty country up there, man, like Parksville and the Chilhowie Mountain.
The Indians liked it.
Yeah, I went up there with my ex-brother-in-law one time, and he took me off a little dirt road. And, man, I was like, golly, I was looking on there, I'm like, but he went down that road before, and he came off way back off another road up through there, but it wasn't the front way. It was down a dirt road, gravel road.
If you had car
down.
trouble, you'd just have to walk in the dark, wouldn't it? Because you couldn't hardly get your way out. It'd take forever to get out of there.
I would just sleep in the car till morning. Because you just about have to.
You'd have to.
Bobcats, bears,
coyotes, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think coyotes.
You'd have to stay in there and hope there wasn't a bear that.
Yeah.
That'd be a scary place to be at dark.
Coyotes won't bother you, will they?
Yeah, I don't think they could break in the car, do anything to the car. But a bear could.
A bear could. Yep.
I mean, they could tear a front door off of a house.
Well, I'm excited about this summer.
I like it.
And I'm sure I'm glad you came. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Oh, it's
and when's your election next time? Next 24?
3 years.
3 years.
2026.
I'd hate to run against
Hey, you're to do that sometime.
you. Not me.
Well, maybe we get.